Kingdom of Madness Heroic. This Heroic 7, yeah, the final Heroic. Heroic 7 Tier 5 has some very interesting bosses and could potentially be difficult, which is why you need to have pip management. It's very important you manage your pips effectively in this match. So we're going to have 4 sub bosses, obviously, and we're going to have the final boss, which is boss Robin King. Starting off, I took on boss Batman. This is the collector of worlds Batman that we never got in the game, but I don't know. I know this is probably wishful thinking. I still have belief that we will eventually get this boss in the game as a character. Probably he will not be that good because we don't have any good Batman in this game, which is weird, but it's unfortunate as well. Anyways, this boss is going to be immune to both lethal and crit, which is the major modifier that he has. That means that means you're not just going to be able to use like any character you like. Like you could maybe want to use your Beast Boy or your not Sub-Zero, your Scorpion, and maybe those guys can work if you have enough attack. Maybe if you have like a maxed out Beast Boy with 2 maxed out supporting artifact. Maybe, I don't know. I did not try it. I don't want to take a risk in this one. I know normally I don't like peace. I like problems normally, but this time around I was like, what is the safest option to take in this match? And obviously, the best option, generally not just against this boss, but the best option against any boss that is immune to lethal and crit is to use teams that can do heavy damage with the dark metal cards. And of course, the number 1 team that can do damage with the dark metal card is the League of Anarchy team, which is why I've equipped my dark metal cards on my Harley Quinn, and of course my remaining surviving Zatanna's puppet. For those of you that watched my previous video, I lost one. I had 2 maxed out Zatanna's puppet. I lost one, and the remaining one is what I've used. It's what I will keep using till the next update. Yeah, so I think the League of Anarchy team is a very good team that you can use to take down boss Batman. Now, for this guy, he does splash damage. But this splash damage is not the real issue. The other issue with this boss is that just like boss Batman, and this is where we start talking about pip management and why this tier 5 is a bit difficult. If you don't manage your pips properly, you are going to get stuck. You see that I've used my League of Anarchy against boss Batman. I'm also going to use my my metal team against boss Atrocitus. The best team you can use against any boss that doesn't have crit and lethal, the team, in terms of team, is the metal team, because of the passive of Robin King, where you can bypass crit immunity. That means as long as I have Robin King in my metal team and I have my Batwoman the Drowned, yeah, I'm good to go. I can use John Stewart's Green Lantern as the 3rd character, or I can use Arkham Knight Batman, the legendary Batman character. So I can use that character as well as a support. So it doesn't matter. Once you have these 2 characters, you are set, you flood, you still do your crits because of Robin King, and you take down the boss. But that's why I said pip management is very important. If I had used my metal team against any of the last 2 sub-bosses, or if I had used my metal team in the previous tier, so on tier 4, if I'd used my metal team there, then I would have probably been in trouble here. You need to save, and this is why I keep emphasizing it. Pip management, if you're going to towards tier 5, have it in mind that you're going to need 2 characters that can beat crit immunity. The League of Anarchy team and the metal team. You're going to need 2 of them. So you can use the other characters for other bosses, then save those 2 characters for these 2 sub-bosses. Now, for this one, I believe our issue is dot resistance, and the obvious answer to boss that has increased dot resistance, League of Anarchy could work, but we've already established that we are using League of Anarchy because League of Anarchy can reduce the opponent's dot resistance. So that would have worked here, but it would be stupid to do that. You are better off using League of Anarchy against boss Batman. That is why I've decided to opt for the Twin Blade on Raiden. The Raiden Raven combo is very, very good against bosses that have maybe they have immunity to dot, or they are resistance to dot, or I think there's even one, I believe there's one boss, if I'm remembering correctly, There's one boss or sub-boss in one of these solo raids that's also immune to hazard dot. I don't, maybe I'm misremembering that, but I think I've seen hazard dot immunity. Maybe it's from, maybe I'm thinking of league rates. But anyways, all these dot immune resistant characters, Twin Blade on Raiden combined with Raven is going to solve that issue for you so easily. You just need you only need one maxed out solo raid artifact. And I think you guys will notice all the teams I've been using so far, I'm using just one maxed out solo raid artifact. If you did not notice, I'm letting you know right now. My Raiden is going to use the Twin Blade. Twin Blade on Raiden is very, very powerful, but it's not one-shot powerful level. If you want to be able to one-shot, you definitely need your Raven. Now, you may want to use Raven in different fights, and I won't fault you for that. Another thing you could do if maybe you don't have Raven or you want to use Raven somewhere else, depending on the kind of characters you have in your roster, I would say the gemstone artifact is really good for this. So I don't know how, like I said, I don't have gemstone, so I've never actually used it. I'm not sure, but I know that you can use gemstone in support character. You tag in that character, you do this special or basics with the character, then you tag in your main damage dealer. So you could do that and have a different character as a support in this match, equip that character with the gemstone artifact, then equip Twin Blade on Raiden. And I think that theoretically that should work. I've not done it because I can't do it, but for those of you that have gemstone, maybe you can let me know if that is something that could work. So if you don't want to use Raven, excuse me, if you don't want to use Raven, then yes, you can use gemstone on another support character, and that will be fine. For the final sub boss, this is not the final fight. This is the penultimate fight. This boss doesn't really have anything special. Like, this is a boss that you can use in any character you have left on your roster. That any one-shot team you have should be able to take care of boss Harley Quinn. She doesn't have any serious passives that is going to give you sleepless nights and give you headache. So I decided to have some fun with this fight, and it almost cost me because, guys, I have the beta club, and if I'm not recording a video, I use beta club on Mr. Freeze. That is I would be stupid to do otherwise. Beta club on Mr. Freeze, within a minute plus, the match is over. But I've said it before, I don't like peace, I like problems always, and I'm going to record a video, and I'm not about to record a beta club gameplay with Mr. Freeze. So I went back to my what was this artifact called? My Zatanna's Puppet artifact. So yes, I used Killer Frost and Killer Frost, of course, so that I can get the 400% damage from doing basic attacks against a frozen opponent. And of course, Vixen, that will give me about 200% base attack. It's not that much, but that's the only support I can get. I would say if you have an ascended Mr. Freeze, you don't need classic Wonder Woman, so which is why I went for Vixen, to at least get a bit of a boost. It's not really that much, but it's still something. But if your Mr. Freeze is not ascended, maybe you have like 6 stars, 7 stars, 7 stars not ascended, or 6 stars or something like that, then definitely you want to use classic Wonder Woman as the third character, not Vixen. Classic Wonder Woman provides way more value because she's giving you 100% additional critical attack damage. So instead of doing 300%, you're doing 400. But it doesn't stack with ascended tech characters. At least from my tests, it doesn't seem to stack. So using classic Wonder Woman with an ascended tech character doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Yeah, which is why I've gone for Vixen. What I noticed was this team, I think I'll put it like this. What made this fight this difficult is because I was deliberately not using 2 solo raid artifacts. In another video I will share with you, maybe next week, you will see that I use the same team, but with 2 solo raid artifacts, and you will see that I one-shot much, much faster. So, but I wanted to see if I have because not everybody will have 2 maxed out solo raid. In fact, to even have 1 maxed out solo raid artifact is very difficult, which is why I tried to adjust my gameplay to reflect what, let's say, majority of people would have. And I know majority of people won't have 2 maxed out solo raid artifacts. I decided to go with 1, and I was able to one-shot, but as you can see, it went to the last 7 seconds before I was able to one shot. So I will say this: if you have two max star solo raid artifacts, for the love of God, use your two max star solo raid artifact. Use every advantage you have. If I were not recording this video and I did not have Beta Club, I would be using my two max star solo raid artifact. But since I do, but since I was trying to record the video, that's why I didn't use it. And if you have the Beta Club, obviously use your Beta Club on Mr. Freeze. That's the way to go. Yeah, for the final fight, the king himself. One thing about this fight is that this boss is going to have a very strong dot damage from his hazard that's going to affect you. So there are a couple of ways you can deal with that. You can go with the approach of, by the way, if you are using like, what is it called? Metal Team would have made this fight so much easier. But of course, I've used my Metal Team against a boss that's immune to crits. That's boss Atrocitus. Now, why Meta Team would have been good is that I would have stolen the boss's attack and this dot would not do much damage to me. If your health becomes too low, you are not going to be able to do damage against the boss, which is why I decided to be creative and use Shazam. Yeah, so I use Shazam. Shazam can heal the entire team. I use Metahuma artifacts on Black Manta, but I could even say if you have two max solo raid artifacts, once more use that, because it means you're going to be able to one shot so much faster. You're not going to need to heal and all that. But this is just an idea of having one maxed out solo raid artifact. And yeah, I was able to defeat the boss and got shitty rewards. Anyways, you guys can let me know in the comment section what teams, these fights that you saw the teams I've used, what teams did you guys use against these bosses? Let me know in the comment section. Smash the subscribe button if you enjoy my videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one.